All right, ladies. Well, welcome and thank you so much for making time to join us for the last workshop for Second Act Women here in 2020, as we most appropriately figure out how to shed 2020 and sparkle bright in 2021. Leading us in this fantastic, powerful discussion will be Lora Cheadle, who is an intuitive hypnotherapist. And I love that she uses her burlesque kind of concepts that she's acquired and in combination with has created this new 5 steps flaunt that she uses particularly to help empower women, but not only just to empower them, but to really help figure out and kind of work through all the clutter that has perhaps maybe gotten in the way, or let's just say pandemic has gotten in the way, to really kind of help them come out on the other end. And so today's session is really filled with a slew of just interactive conversations, but hopefully you walk away with some great insights to help you shed 2020, move into 2021, and really start the new year with you at the primary focus of it. So with that said, Lora, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Well, like Lupe said, 2020 has been a pretty tough year for a lot of different reasons. And although everybody's always talking about, we're all in this together, we are and we're not. We all have there's a whole lot of things that trigger differently based on our own unique situation. So that's really what I want us to focus on is I want you to focus on you and your situation. And throughout this workshop, I want you to focus on shedding whatever it is for you, whether that's family or job or health. Let's have you release what is blocking you. Whether that's what everybody else is dealing with or not, it doesn't matter. So you can sparkle bright in 2021 and beyond. And what I want to start with is a definition of sparkle, because sometimes people don't really know what that means. For me, sparkle is the ability to wake up feeling enthusiastic and spend the day being relatively happy no matter what's going on around you, and then going to bed at night feeling really satisfied about what your day has been. So what I want to do is have you, I'm going to hide that and move that. There we go. Be as interactive as possible today. I know we're all on Zoom, and that's why I would encourage you to take yourself off mute, especially at the end of every section, and interact. Grab a paper and a pen if you don't already have one, and write some things down, because there's some content that you are going to want to go back through at the end of this workshop. Now, Lupe introduced me a little bit, but I am going to tell you a little bit more about me. There it is. I am an attorney, a former corporate attorney turned author, speaker, life choreographer, and like she said, burlesque dancer. Now, I don't know if you've had an experience similar to this, but when I was practicing law, I really felt like in order to be taken seriously, I had to cover up who I really was. I had to smile a little bit less. I'm a naturally enthusiastic person, so I kind of had to tone that down. And then on the flip side, when I stayed home with my kids, I had to put on the smile. I had to amp things up. I had to pretend that everything was perfect and that it was just all peachy keen staying home with 2 babies all day. And at some point, I got really tired of always having to pretend to be somebody a little bit different than I was. And I feel like a lot of us can relate to that. And a lot of us have been tasked with that same thing in 2021. We're supposed to pretend when it's not really okay. So finally, at age 44, I had really had enough. I had always loved dancing. I'd always been a dancer growing up, and I just enjoyed it. So I started taking dance lessons again, even though it took money away, it took time away, blah, 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 blah. I found this a studio with adult classes. Within a month of taking those classes, I found myself at a burlesque audition, even though I had no idea what burlesque was. And I ended up with an invitation to come dance in Las Vegas. Okay, you might be thinking that I jumped on that, but you would be totally wrong. being invited to do something that outside of my comfort zone brought up all of my fears. I was too old. I was too fat. What would people think? What would my family think? I mean, you name it, I thought it. I ended up going because my friends talked me into it and they told me I was absolutely crazy for not going. And you know, that weekend changed my life because it really showed me that all of that effort and time I was spending being who I thought I was supposed to be was really taking me away from being who I was. From that point on, I started shedding expectations. I started shedding judgment, just like I shed my costumes on stage that day. And I have been a lot happier and more satisfied ever since. Despite some pretty big things, like COVID, like learning that my husband of 23 years had been cheating on me for 15 of those years with 5 different women. I promise that no matter what challenges you face, you can shed them and you can sparkle brighter and be happier than you ever have before. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how. Now, you are in the right place. If you're tired of always doing the right thing, looking the right way, holding it all together for everybody else, often at your own expense, and if you're ready to free yourself to live life on your own terms, no matter what happens around you, and just be happy right now. So, what I want you to do right now is I want you to go back and either remember a dream that you used to have, like how I used to love dancing. It might be traveling. It might be doing something. I want you to go back and remember one of your dreams, or give yourself the chance to dream something new. And I want you to write down that dream, because there's something magical about writing down your dream. And yes, I know this takes a moment, but as you have that dream, take yourself off mute and just, you don't need permission to talk, just talk. Just start sharing those dreams, because perhaps some of you are sitting there going, I don't know. And hearing somebody else talk will remind you, oh yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
So I'll go.
Perfect.
When I was a medical assistant, I was giving somebody hepatitis A and hepatitis B shots because they were taking their kids out of school and were going to travel the world for a year. And I thought, that is the coolest idea I have ever heard. And I immediately looked at what would that take? What would I do? How would I pull that off? And life got in the way, but that dream has been tickling my fancy recently. So.
Wow. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. And Colleen, since you were the first brave person to speak, I'm sending you a copy of my book. So afterwards, in the chat, send me your address. I will go ahead and send that out to you. Who else has some dream that, like Colleen said, is just kind of tickling your brain that you never got around to doing?
Something I've always wanted to do was to go to New York Fashion Week and go to the fashion shows and go to see the fashion, live.
Wow. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Mm-hmm.
When is Fashion Week? I know what it is, but I don't know what month it is.
It's in September. And then it's also, again, the big one is in September, but then they also do it again in February, which obviously neither happened this year, nor will it happen in February. But yeah, that's something. And then my second thing is to get a villa in Italy and spend a month or two just hanging out there.
Oh, I love that. Hopefully next September.
Yes.
Hopefully next September you'll get to Fashion Week. Oh, thank you. I love that. Now that you've got your creative juices flowing, let me tell you a little bit about my yoga-esque process, which is the process that we are going to use today to help you shed 2020 and sparkle bright in 2021. Okay, yoga-esque combines the energy of the chakras with the creativity of burlesque. And through it, what you do is you turn yourself into a living vision board. So you can really take the lead in the dance of life and create the kind of 2021 that you want to create no matter what happens around you. So if you think about, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. If you think about yoga works with the chakras, which are the energy centers of the body. We carry different emotions in each of our chakras. So for example, the heart chakra is where we carry on the positive side, the energy of love. And on the negative side, the energy of heartbreak. And we all move our bodies differently when we're in a state of love as we do when we're in a state of heartbreak. So right now, just for a moment, not to depress you, think about the worst heartbreak or loss you have ever experienced. And just see what your body does. Breathe it in and feel it. Chances are you crumble a little bit. You sink back, you roll your shoulders forward, and you collapse in on that heart a little bit. Breath, take a deep breath, release that, shake it off. And I want you to move into falling in love, whether it's with a partner or your child, or being on a trip and just being like, I'm here. Move into that state of love and see what your body just naturally does. It's not that you're acting or creating it, but your body moves up and your throat opens and your heart opens, and you might actually even find yourself smiling. That is the power of chakra energy. And that is the power that we use in yoga-esque to help create and feel exactly how you want to feel in 2021. Now, there is burlesque. Burlesque is, contrary to what you might think, a parody. It's not about stripping. The removal of clothing is used because of the taboo around female nudity. And just so you know, there's never, ever any complete nudity in burlesque. Think about the judgment around women. On one side, a quality woman, a mother, a smart woman is never supposed to be sexy, right? Otherwise, she's using her body. A smart woman is never supposed to be sexy or show herself. But on the other side of the coin, we're all supposed to be this perfect size 2 with this amazing thigh gap, but then this nice tush and these great, chests. And we're supposed to be wrinkle-free and have, hair that's either blonde or brown, never gray. And we're supposed to be perfect. And we know that that's an impossible standard, but we all try to meet it anyway, don't we? And that's what burlesque pokes fun of. Burlesque is about revealing ourselves as we are, not as we think we should be, and being okay with being a size 16, being okay with being 40 or 60 or 70. Burlesque is also about the creativity and the emotion of performing. So you get out of your head, oh, I need to fix myself up. Oh, I need to do this. And you get into your body as it is. Now, who here has ever created a vision board? Just raise your hand, wave. Yes, perfect. A vision board helps you focus on what you want, which is great, and it helps. Yoga-esque is similar because it helps you focus on how you want to feel and how you want to be in terms of that chakra energy, in terms of that creative burlesque energy, so you can start feeling deeply and expressing yourself authentically. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use Yoga Lesque to turn you into a living vision board. You are going to choreograph a burlesque routine of how you want to be in 2021. So you have a plan going forward of exactly how you want to feel, exactly how you want to show up. So even when things don't go as expected, which they won't, you still have some choreographed steps. You still know how you want to be, and you can stay enthusiastic and happy no matter what happens. Okay, to do that, we need to start with a vision. Growing up, were you ever asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Again, raise your hand if somebody asked you that, whether it was a teacher or your parents. Yes. Now, how many of you were asked, how do you want to feel and be and show up as an adult? Raise your hand. That's not a question that we get asked. So that's not something that we tend to think about, even though our feelings and how we feel in ourselves and our bodies and our life is really the thing that makes us happy. Now, if you were creating a burlesque routine or any other piece of art, whether it was paints or music, you would start with the vision of what it was that you wanted to create. You wouldn't just start slapping down colors. You wouldn't just start dancing around. You would have an intention. So that's where we're going to start today, with an intention. I want you to name and claim your vision for how you want to feel in 2021. And I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do that, because it takes a while to shift from your goals of what you want to accomplish and what you want to do to how you want to be. And as you're writing it down, move into the power of those chakras and let yourself move and feel and be how you want to be. Think about how you want to feel waking up in the morning, how you want to feel going to bed, how you want to express. And be sure to move your body. We're all, as kids, taught to sit still, don't fidget. Oh my goodness, this is how we flow the energy. Fidget away. Breathe. Lift your heart. And breathe in that beautiful emotion. And take your time. We all get focused on rushing to the next thing. Be comfortable with the discomfort of being, because that's really where the goodness starts flowing. And like I said earlier, if you've got questions about any of it, pop yourself off mute and talk.
All right, question. What's the last question? What is expray?
Oh, it should be express. Ha ha. Good question.
I was like, is this a new French word that I'm not familiar with?
Well, you know what? Let's create it here today.
I even pronounce it like expray, you know.
Right.
All right, got you. Okay.
That will be our word for 2021, expray. And when people say, what are you doing? You'll say, I'm expraying. All right. The next thing we're going to think about is your song. Music is really powerful. It makes everything better. Have you ever heard of music without the background music? It just loses something. It's really flat. And it's the same with working out. If you're supposed to just go run a mile or whatever without music, it's really hard. That's why all group fitness classes have music. It keeps you on beat, it keeps you motivated. One more song, and you all go, yes, I could do one more song. Music really keeps you excited. If you're choreographing 2021, you absolutely need a theme song. When I found out about my husband's infidelity, which was absolutely the hardest thing I have ever had to move through, I chose the song Defying Gravity from Wicked as my theme song to get me through. And truly, every time I would just start withering and crumbling and thinking it's not fair and I can't get through this and da, 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 and slide into all of those emotions, I would play that song. And it would really remind me of who I was and what I deserved. And it would really move me into that empowered state so I could keep going even when I wanted to quit. Now, I want to ask you, and just again, jump in. What were some of your power songs? What are songs that you would listen to on repeat when you were going through a breakup that would make you cry, in middle school or high school or whatever? What are the songs that maybe you had at your wedding that you still hear today and you go, oh, I love that song? What are some of the songs that have really inspired you? And I want you to share a couple of those.
I've always loved Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
Anything by Journey, it pumps me up.
I love Journey.
My thing is music, period. And I'm all over the place. I don't have a lot of favorites because I have a lot of things I like. So for me, it's just like, it depends on my mood. I just want to hear, like yesterday, I was goal setting and vision boarding, planning for our event in January. And I was playing some Post Malone radio to pump me up, get me excited. And then sometimes it's smooth jazz. Most of the time it's smooth jazz during the day when I'm trying to concentrate on things. But for me, it's like music, period. Depending on my mood.
Yeah, I love that.
Up on some 80s, some Journey, Bon Jovi, Howard Jones, Lisa and Cult Jam, Ready for the World. I could go on and on.
Oh, Lisa, there's a third.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Well, I know it's a lot to ask to come up with your song right now. But when we're done, go through your playlist, find a song that is your power anthem for 2021 and download it. And keep it on, whether it's YouTube or your phone or wherever, keep it there and truly play it whenever you find that you are getting off focus, because that is your power anthem for the year. And I promise it's going to keep you on track. The next thing, if you were creating a burlesque routine or any kind of routine, is costuming. Now, costumes are the things that we wear to show the world who we are. I want you to think about how you judge people in uniform, whether it's like an army uniform or a minister's robe, or if you see somebody in scrubs or a business suit. We all judge people based on their uniform. And we all do it too. Think about the things that you wear when you want people to view you a certain way. If you're showing up at a PTA school event, you're going to dress differently than if you're going on a hot, sexy night out, than if you're showing up in court. So think about your costume. And do they fit who you really are? Now I want you to go a little bit deeper. What layers are you wearing that aren't your clothing? Your labels. She's the funny one. She's the disorganized one. Your roles. I'm a mom, I can't do that. I can't do that now. Or your scripts. Your scripts are the ideas in your head about the way things should be. I should have a better job by now. I should be married by now. I should, whatever it is, fill in the blank. Are you letting yourself live authentically to who you are? Or are you costuming yourself in order to fit in somebody else's box? And here's the power question. Was 2020 a little bit more difficult for you because it interrupted the script in your head about the way the year should have been? Because I think for a lot of us, it was that way. Now, doing the first thing that pops in your mind, don't think too hard. I want you to write down one label that somebody else has labeled you or that you've labeled yourself, one role. I'm a lawyer. I'm a mom. I'm a middle-aged woman. I'm whatever. And one script. I should be doing this. And here's the fun part. Write down one costume that represents those labels, those roles, or those scripts that you might like to release going forward because they're blocking you from being who you are. So, for example, if I'm ready to strip out of being a hot mess, 2020 just kind of turned me into a hot mess. So the costume piece around that I'm choosing is a down parka, one of those bulky down parkas, because it makes you hot, because it constricts. So that's my metaphor costume that I will take off to shed my hot messiness. If the role is being a mom, it might be like an ugly pair of mom jeans. If the script is I should be in better shape, it might be an accessory like a pair of hand weights. You can throw those little hand weights away and let go of that. And some of these are going to be funny and some of these are going to be serious, but there is such power and such a difference in saying, I'm going to let go of being a hot mess and taking that parka and being like, I am stripping out of it and it's out of here. Or I'm unbuttoning these mom jeans. There they go, tromp them down. When we embody what we want up here, it becomes real. So once again, share one of those labels, one of those roles, one of those scripts, and its corresponding costume. Whether you make us laugh or cry, just share whatever comes to your mind. There is no right, there is no wrong.
Okay, one of my costumes is pajama pants.
Yes!
I mean, I have them on now.
Yep.
You know, it kind of very comfortable after all these months of eating, and yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I look forward to, you know, having more professional clothes on than this.
I like that. I like that. And what I like about that too is when you said more professional clothes, for me, when I'm in my pajama pants, I just kind of blah. And when I'm in my more professional clothes, I'm just pulled up more. And it's hard to be in pajama pants and be like, here I am. So I love that. It's right around that whole chakra energy. Anyone else? One more. Let's do one more. What about a label? Labels are powerful. You've ever been called a silly girl at age 40?
All right, I'm going to step into this one big time. So I'm going to shed the idea of being in an unhappy wife. And what I am going to be getting rid of is what I anticipate as like a ball and chain, like shackles in essence. And I need to just step in and reclaim me as a woman first versus me as a wife first, that in a situation that's not serving me.
Oh, thank you. I feel that one. Thank you. That's right on.
When she opens up, she goes for it.
What? We're gonna leave it there.
Out of you.
We're gonna take that right into choreography. Choreography is the steps that you need to take in order to strip out of those labels, those roles, or those scripts. Now, Choreography is the arrangement of different steps or moves that come together to create a cohesive dance with meaning and purpose. And just like a choreographer creates a routine, it truly is up to you to create and to choreograph your life. Because if you're not consciously creating your life, somebody else is doing it for you. And inevitably, it's going to be a little bit different than you thought. And at the end of the day, maybe you're already there, you wake up and you go, I'm not as happy as I thought I should be. I've got some regrets and I'm starting to panic and feel like it's too late. Because somebody else has choreographed your life because it's not yours. So whether you're in that place of a little bit of sadness and a little bit of regret right now, or you want to avoid being in that place of sadness or regret, the key is in choreographing, stepping out of, stripping out of whatever is holding you back, those costumes, those labels, those roles, those scripts. And if you're anything like me, you get in this place of panic and you're like, I'm going to do it all tomorrow. Tomorrow is my day. Doesn't work that way. It's a slow process. So what I want you to do right now is just write down the most immediate next feeling, not necessarily step, but the feeling that you want to step into, and one thing that might get you there. So you might want to feel a little more centered. What is one thing that you can do that would make you feel more centered? It might be letting something go. It might be learning to meditate. Do you want to feel a little happier? Do you want to feel a little more certain, a little more confident? What is your most immediate next feeling? And what do you need to release to get there? And make sure that those steps are uniquely yours. Going back to the beginning, to that chakra energy, it's the energy infused in those steps that matters, not the precise steps. It's not that I have to get this certification. It's the feeling around it. Go back to your vision. Go back to your song. How do you want to feel? And what is one step that will get you to feel that way? One of my favorite quotes is from Shakespeare. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his act being 7 ages. And I start my book with that quote because it's something that is important for us to go back to time and again. What part are you playing? Are you playing the long-suffering wife? Are you playing the martyred mother? Are you playing the one who does everything in the company and never gets rewarded? What part are you playing? And could it be time to perform a different role? You've got the vision, the song, the costumes you're shedding, the choreography, you know how you want to feel. Over the next year, it's up to you to dance this dance. And just like you were really, if you were really on stage, if something goes wrong, you improv. You don't throw things down and storm off stage. You improv. You've got the tools. The key is to perform it and to feel the joy of that performance in your body. Now, this is where it's going to get fun because I'm going to put you in a breakout room. And I want you from your heart to share. And when you share from your heart, sometimes it means, I know how I want to feel. I think this might be my song. I know I'm stripping out of this. I'm confused here. And maybe one of my steps is this. It's just sharing what you have. This is not about being perfect and saying, my routine starts over here in the corner and I come sashaying in and then I strip this off. And let it be fun. Let it be what it is. And share, because we learn so much from other people. So let me see if I can get you in breakout rooms or not. Assign automatically. And I'm going to do 2 to a breakout room. 3 to a breakout room. 2 participants, 2 room. Oh, there we go. Okay. Are you ready to go? And do you want to take a picture of that real fast? I just want you to share your vision, your song, a couple of things you might want to recognize and release, your costumes and your choreography. You've got about 3 minutes each. Are you ready? Welcome back. What did you guys learn? I'd love to hear what you learned, whether it's like, I learned that that was hard, or whether it was about somebody else or yourself. Just share one thing that you learned.
I mean, Laura, you went deep there for a minute, girl. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for the emotion. I wasn't prepared for the deepness. I was like, okay, so this is happening. This is happening. Okay, feel it, embrace it. Yeah. So I was definitely not prepared for it. But thank you very much. And you know, for just doing the breakout, I just realized that we are all actually so different, yes, but the same in the stuff that we need to. We've labeled ourselves, we think the world has labeled us, or whatever the case may be, and we just need to shed that shit. Like, I'm so over it. Shed the shit. Ha! That could be something. So I'm just, you know, I'm so tired of these labels. And I'm glad that we naming and shaming them and just, it's gotta go. There's no place for it in 21. It's gotta go.
Oh, yes, you say it so much. Yes, thank you. And I really appreciate and love what you said, that we're all different and we're all the same.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah. And there are so many similarities just by being a woman.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, and I think on that note, what I learned is I mean, and it's not that I just learned it right now. I think it just continues to grow and show in greater fashion, is that there is 100% power in community, and the women that get behind you and support you and show you love, unconditional love and support when you're going through those times. We couldn't do it. There's nothing that you're supposed to do by yourself. Like, and I think that's just the beauty of recognizing that you have true friends and women that care about you around you all the time. You just got to look and ask.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because we truly are the ones that can support each other, because we understand, because we've all been in that journey. And I think we've all reached, that's what I love about, you know, Second Act Women. We've all reached that age where we know the cattiness is not really who we are. It's a label that has been put on a lot of women, and really we're supportive and we're loving and we help each other. And we're ready to shed that and be like, oh no, I'm not backstabbing. I'm not gossiping. We are a community and we are together in this. Yeah.
Ladies, I have to go back to work. I have to sign into my own workshop. So I'm just gonna leave, but I did want to say thank you. I'm sorry, I'm like, the email thing is dinging and you know, just stuff happening. I gotta sign into my own Zoom and I gotta do my workshop, but this was really great. I love the questions. I have some questions to think more deeply about, and I'll be doing some journaling off of these. So thank you, because a lot of light bulbs went off. Verona.
Brenda, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, my tribe. I miss y'all. You don't even know, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back. All right, ladies, enjoy.
Email me if you've got questions. Email me
Thank
and we
you.
can go over the end of it together.
Thank
girl.
you. If I can hop back on, I will, because nobody's coming to my workshop. Just FYI, I just gotta sign in.
Got it. Okay, we hope to see you in a second.
Bye, girl.
Okay, I want you to think about the power of, in less than an hour, the emotion, the thoughts, the light bulbs. And I want you to think about what it would be like to go deeper with that. And if you would like to go deeper with it, I would absolutely love for you to, woohoo, there we go, join me for my 5-week Yoga-esque program. What we do is you actually come away with a piece of performance art. We do all of these things in real life. And yes, we do it all Zoom, but you're doing it on your own. And it really does help you go from where you are now to where you want to be, because you have embodied it. You think about it, you meditate on it, you breathe it, and then you embody it. I've got a day session and an evening session. It's January 6th through February, 3rd? And yeah, February 3rd, either at noon or at 7. It's 197 for everybody else, but I'm doing 100 off. So it's only 97 for SecondActWomen, because you are fun, you're my tribe. If you want to learn more of the details about what we actually do in that program, it's very similar to what we did today, but you can go to yogalesque.online. My sign up link has been a little bit funky, so you can also just email me, Lora@loracheadle.com. And if you do my 5-month life choreography program, where you really go deep and you spend 5 months actually doing this work, the whole program is free to you. So reach out. I'm not like a high pressure, gross person. I just want to play and have fun, and I want to help my tribe. So reach out if you've got questions, or if you know you want to sign up. Either way.
Hey, Laura, is that every day, January 6th to the 3rd?
Great question. No, it's only on Wednesdays. Classes usually run about 90 minutes, because we do the content for about 45 minutes. And then everybody's like, I got to share, I got to talk, I got to cry, I got to process, I got to do all of that stuff. So it's only Wednesdays, either from.
No, it's 4. It's 4 classes. 5. Perfect.
So we have a week on vision, a week on song, a week on costuming, a week on choreography, and then we all virtually perform our routine for each other, which is the most magical thing in the whole world.
All right, let's do it, Barb. Come on. I'm in.
Yes, it's so much fun.
I'm just putting it up there.
I know, it's so fun, so rich. So
I think we moved our meetings, Lupe, from Wednesdays to Thursdays.
Good thing we did. See, it was like we knew.
Perfect. And whether you do Yoga-esque, whether you do life choreography, or whether you just take the content from today, what I want for you is I really challenge you to do it. I really challenge you to reveal yourself authentically as you are, not as you think you should be, not as you've been told that you should be, and to see what shifts. Because just like when I actually went to Vegas, everything shifted. And I can tell you, it shifted for the better in ways that I didn't even anticipate it shifting. So to recap, to walk away from today, how do you want to feel in 2021? Name and claim that vision, not for your goals, but for how you want to feel. Find your power song. What is your song? Think about what you are wearing to present yourself a certain way. What you're wearing that's holding you back or that's blocking your sparkle. And remember, your sparkle is your happiness, your enthusiasm. And then choreography. What is your most immediate next step to feel the way that you want to feel? And then break out into that performance. Who were you before the world? Look, there's a misspelling there too. I told you who to be. Break into that performance, move into those chakras. This is yoga-esque. Energy and creativity. Show up as you are, not as you think you should be. And I really want to stay in touch. Like I said, I love women. I love my tribe. Like Lupe said, this is who we are together. Stay in touch. Follow me on social media. You can download the top 20 things that block your sparkle and what to do about them at nakedselfworth.com. Email me, join me for Yoga-esque, whatever it is. Let's just keep the conversation going. And as we close, I want to challenge you with this thought too. Women are so concerned about helping other people. The biggest way we can truly help the world is by stepping into our own power, by shining our own light, and by revealing ourselves fully for who we are. We inspire our girls. We inspire our young women. We inspire the men in our lives. That is how we make our biggest impact. So what are you going to do to strip down and uncover it all in 2021?
Laura, what a beautiful, I know, what a beautiful workshop. So grateful for you. And I would be remiss not to ask, because I'm here going like, yes, girl, yes, keep talking, like, let's do this, right? So I know I'm going to share just real quick how I'm feeling. And I'd love for each of us to take just a few seconds or a minute or two to just share how you showed up and how you're leaving this workshop now. Because what Lora really dug to, in my opinion, and how I'm feeling is that you're digging into my truth. That now I am at a point in time where I need to be honest about me and what I want and prioritize myself, like you're saying, shed those labels. And so I showed up anxious because we're the whole end of year, new year always puts me in a very anxious state about what's to come, what am I supposed to do? But now I'm entering it definitely with more optimism and more just vigor and just zest for life to find my path wherever it may lead me. So I'm going to hitch it on over to Ms. Brooks now. I'm going to go this way. Come on, Barb, share.
You know what? I'm going to pass it on to Robin.
What's that?
I'm going to pass it on to Robin.
You're such a punk. We're going to come back to you, so don't go far. All right, Robin.
I think for me, the biggest thing is that I can step into anything I want to be. And I think that it's thinking about who I want to be versus these are my goals for next year and I'm going to accomplish this, this, and this. It's how I want to feel. And that is such a gift. So thank you very much for that. I very much like Lupe, I just felt like I came into this anxious. I got to set my goals. I haven't even started. I see Barbara's doing her goals and I haven't done my goals. And then now I just like, okay. So thank you.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Awesome. All right, Colleen.
So I came in rushed and grateful because I thought I was going to have to miss this today because work was going to get in the way. And then magically, everything shifted around and everything that was supposed to happen today is happening tomorrow.
Happen for a reason.
Yeah. So I walked in really grateful. Like when you really want something, the universe kind of does the path for you. Because I really did want to come to this, and the feeling I really, and it like when she said that, the word, and it came up without even my having to think deep, was satisfaction. I want to end every day feeling like I have done everything I possibly could to make my life the best I can make it and be satisfied and just be able to let go of the day. So that is my feeling for 2021.
That's juicy and delicious. I love that.
That's beautiful. Ms. Verona. I love your name. I love saying your name.
Verona.
Just in case you haven't figured that out.
Verona. That's right.
Laura, I loved how you made it very simple and I could put it into chunks. So I get overwhelmed. I've got a list of things I need to do. This is my vision, blah, blah, blah. And when you think of one thing, I could think of one thing I could do. I could start right now, and it'll help me. So I think funneling everything that we want into these bite-sized little chunks is what really stood out for me during this workshop. And it just automatically, I went from to like, oh, okay, one thing. Oh, I can do that. I already did it. Done. And I think that was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's beautiful.
All right, Ms. Dina.
Okay, well, I'll give you my feel for 2021 is I want to feel accomplished, because unfortunately this year, with all that's been going on and all the changes I want to make, here it is, December 29th, and I don't feel like I accomplished much. So I guess my word for 2021 is accomplished. That's how I want to go to sleep at the end of the day, feeling accomplished. So.
Yes. Love it. Love it. Ms. Elizabeth.
So I came in here, I'm in the middle of a career change, and I came in here expecting, okay, this is going to help me with my career change. But it unveiled a label that I hadn't even identified yet, but I have been struggling against for a few years now. And that was just really eye-opening to me. And so I'm going to do all my work related to that label, because clearly I need to address that. But the word that kept popping up is my very next feeling is capable. And I know I'm capable, but I need to feel capable. And capable is just a starting point. Like once I feel capable, I have so many directions that I can go from there. But for me, that's probably my very next feeling that I have to capture.
I love that.
Awesome. And girl, do you mind me asking? I'm going to put you on the spot. Since you acknowledge that label has been kind of haunting you for the past several years, do you want to share that? Do you feel comfortable sharing that with us?
Yeah, no, I don't mind. So I'm happily married. I love my husband. I got married later in life. I was an established professional. He and I had been friends for years. And he is obviously established as well. And we came into the marriage saying that we're equals, and he sees me as an equal and talks to me like an equal. But in many ways, I feel more like a dependent. He makes more money than I do. His career is more established than mine is. He's older than I am. He's more financially stable than I am, as far as, retirement savings and everything. And some of that is my own learning curve and figuring out my career path and standing up my business and becoming more confident with my finances. And that's where that dependent label comes from, and where that capable feeling comes from as well. The more capable I feel in what I'm doing, the more I can allow myself to feel like an equal across the board.
Yes.
Because obviously he recognizes you as an equal. It's internal. It's within you. It sounds like.
And when it's funny, because when he doesn't, I put him straight, but I still don't allow myself to feel that, right?
Right. Internally, you're like, but you come off as strong, but then internally you're like, wait a minute, I still.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing, girl. I appreciate it, and I can totally relate. So we'll have to have some sidebar conversations.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to give it over to my other half to kind of share her tidbit, and then transition us into some other news as well.
Yeah. So how do I want to feel before I let you in on what Lupe and I are planning for next year? Is I wrote down a couple of different things. So I want to feel refreshed. I want to feel loved. I finally want to find my man. I really want to feel life as it should be, which I always say, live life in full color. And I recognize I myself wasn't or haven't been. I want to feel intentional. I want to feel lighter in my head and in my body. So I totally get it. Well, the weight gain thing is just too much. I want to feel accomplished as well with this company, SecondActWomen. And lastly, I want to feel the feels. I have trouble doing that. I do not like, and it's not as if I think it's being vulnerable or weak, because I know that's not the case when I do let myself finally cry, but it's rare that I do, because I'm scared of going down the rabbit hole of depression, because I do live with depression. And COVID and the pandemic finally got me last week. I've been holding strong, and Wednesday or Thursday, all the days, did anybody else lose the days last week? I have no clue what day was, like, I thought Christmas was Friday. It was a mess. So I laid in bed, and I did write a post, which some of you may have seen. And I just, I finally, Lupe called, and then my sorority sister called me after my post, and I was able to finally cry. And I forgot that my psychologist had said, suffer the suffer, or feel the feels, and then let it go. And we as women, I don't care, Black, white, Mexican, sometimes we consider ourselves tough, and we don't want to ask for help, or we don't want to feel the feels. And so I'm feeling the feels. I'm going to feel them more. And that is me. So that leads into us thanking Lora before we end today's session. And we just want to let you know that we appreciate you, Aunt Lora, and so thankful we ran into you that day we were doing the podcast, and I'd already received your book before that. So you're like a little celebrity in my head. I want to thank all you ladies. Brenda's back from Brooklyn. Love it. Our birthday girl, our December birthday girl. And Lupe and I have been doing a lot of not just soul searching within ourselves, which is always good. We're starting to really do that more, I would say, as of late. But we took all the advice from all of you guys, and every time there's a comment on our Facebook group page, whether it's a post from us or post from others, we take everything you say to heart. And so we plan around what you say you need to thrive at 40 and 50. And so Lupe and I decided to create boot camps. So there'll be intensives centered around career, entrepreneurship, and life, recognizing that all of that trickles into our life somehow. Life always does, whether it's in career or you're a business owner. We always have to also come back to life and the life wheel and where we stand. So our starting boot camp will be goal setting and vision boarding on January 10th. That's a Sunday, and it will be a 3-hour event. And our boot camps, by the way, are going to be working boot camps. All of our workshops, of which we have plenty, we've actually lined out all of our workshops to the end of next year. Now, that doesn't mean, for instance, somebody came up with an idea, and if you all have an idea you'd like for us to cover, we're happy to look at the content, look at the idea, and see how we can make it roll. So we're going to do something on singlehood. Lupe doesn't know that yet because I literally just got it from Macy. But anyway, regardless, our workshops, the way we're making them different, as she did today, Lora, is they will be working workshops. We recognize that Zoom gets boring, and sitting in front of a camera can get boring sometimes, but we are actually working with our presenters and making sure that they follow our format and they do exactly what Lora did today. And that is to engage and have you go off screen and literally, even if it's go off screen for 30 minutes and come back. We're not kidding here. We are making these working workshops in our boot camps, our goal setting and vision boarding on the 10th. We have Startup and Grow on 6/18 for those of you that have side hustles and or have started up or looking to grow. It'll cover that. We have a career camp event on August 20th. And we have business planning and goal setting for 2022. Business planning, because there's a big difference, between business planning and personal planning. So all of those would be from 9 to 1. And then our super boot camps, our biz+life cons. So biz+life con 5 is April 30th on a Friday, and we're going to do a happy hour the night before. And our super boot camp, just termed that, Lupe, as I was ready.
I'm digging it.
Life Con 6 is October
22nd.
Thank you, 22nd. So as soon as our new website is up, we're gonna upload it, which is the beginning of February 1st. We're going to upload it with all these events, but until then, you can still go to our website. So we just wanted to let you know that we're being very, as I said, my word is intentional. I am being intentional. And by the way, every quarter, part of the goal setting that I'm going to lead is I'm going to have actually a word every quarter, because that's how I think. I will forget the word over the course of the year. So there you have it. All right, turn it back over to Lupe.
Well, ladies, I know we are over our time, so I'm going to let you ladies go. But Laura, on behalf of Barbara and myself and Second Act Women and all who attended today, thank you so much for sharing your just vision for how we should be living and how we should be showing up, and then giving us the tools to get there. Ladies, have a fantastic new year. Please apply some of these principles into your own life and keep us in the know about how, the benefits that you reap from practicing her system.
Never post.
Yes. Okay. And wanted just to share that today we actually were featured in the Denver Post, celebrating our accomplishment with launching what we believe still to be the nation's first marketplace exclusively for women over 40 and 50. And it was just a beautiful piece. And I think, for us personally, it was this idea that, we know we're doing important work, but it's always so beautiful when other people see it. And recognize it, and then write about it, and just allow us to connect with even more women. And so if you get the chance, check it out. We posted on it in Facebook, but it was a really great piece that just talks about all of us collectively and the importance and power of women over 40 and 50. So when you get a minute, check it out. And thank you again for joining us today. Wishing you the best as we close out 2020 and welcome 2021. We'll see you in the new year.